Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a tool that can totally transform a restaurant's bottom line. And, well, it's probably sitting right there on your table. We're talking about the menu, not just as a list of food, but as a seriously powerful psychological sales tool. Okay, let's kick things off with a claim from our source that sounds, well, kind of nuts. Doubling your revenue just by changing the menu? No new food, no price hikes? It seems a little wild, I know, but let's actually unpack how this could work. It all boils down to this one number, less than 2 minutes. That is the entire window of opportunity you have. A customer isn't sitting there reading your menu like a novel. They're making snap judgments in a super high-speed decision-making sprint. And get this, in that tiny, tiny window, a whopping 80% of their buying decisions are made, locked in. Every single word, every picture, every second, it all carries a massive amount of weight. So the big question is, how do you make the most of that tiny window of attention? Well, first, we gotta understand the menu's real power, not just as a list, but as a powerful tool of persuasion. Now, before you can even think about persuading anyone, you have to absolutely nail that first impression, because a confusing, dirty, or cheap-looking menu, it can kill a sale before a customer even really starts thinking about the food. I mean, just look at the difference here. One side feels professional, it feels inviting. The other side? It's just frustrating. It screams amateur. And that first impression is so powerful, it instantly sets a customer's expectations for the rest of their entire meal. And listen, this isn't just about aesthetics, making things look pretty. Good design has a direct, measurable impact on your revenue. According to our source, high-quality photos can boost an item's sales by 30%, and something as basic as a clear font can tack on another 15%. Okay, so what are the actual takeaways here? Think of these as the golden rules, right? Keep your fonts at 12 points or bigger for easy reading. You want high contrast so nobody has to squint. And please invest in quality paper. The second someone sees a scribbled-out price, the perceived value of your whole restaurant just plummets. All right, so once you've got that clean, professional menu down, now we can get into the fun stuff, using psychology to guide customers toward your most profitable dishes. This is menu engineering, and yeah, this is where it gets really, really cool. So one of the most powerful tricks in the book is called the Rule of 3. The idea is you don't just offer one version of a dish, you offer 3. That luxe option is often what's called a decoy. It's priced really high to make that mid-range, premium option look like an incredibly smart, reasonable choice. And the result of this one simple trick? It's absolutely staggering. This one technique can nudge up to 70% of your customers to pick that more profitable premium option. You're boosting your average check size without changing a single ingredient. It's brilliant. And hey, this same psychological approach, it works wonders for your wine list too. Forget all the dry technical notes about tannins. Tell a story. Create an emotion. That's what actually sells. And why does this matter so much for wine? Because wine can make up a huge chunk of a restaurant's profit. We're talking up to 40% of the gross margin. So getting that description right isn't just a nice little detail. It's like tapping into a potential gold mine. Okay, so we've seen how to tweak individual items. Now let's kind of zoom out and look at the whole menu. Because a really great menu has something for everyone. Yeah, a modern menu, it really needs to tick a few key boxes to keep up with what customers expect today. That means having great vegetarian options, healthy choices, smaller portions for people with lighter appetites, and a kids menu that's way more than just an afterthought. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, plant-based eating is just a small niche, you really need to think again. I mean, with 10% of people in Germany and 18% in the Netherlands identifying as vegetarian, ignoring this trend means you are turning away a massive chunk of the market. And hey, let's not forget about the kids menu. Our source found that restaurants who get this right can see family sales jump by a massive 35%. I mean, it totally makes sense, right? Happy kids mean relaxed parents who stay longer and, you guessed it, spend more money. All right, last but not least, let's talk about the small details. These are the little things that take a menu from just being a list to being a real customer magnet, creating an experience people will actually remember. These are the kinds of additions that show you actually care. Little things like having menus in different languages, Braille for accessibility, and super clear allergen information, they don't just help customers in the moment, they build loyalty for the long run. And here's one last wild fact for you.
70% of customers decide whether or not to get dessert just based on how it's described on the menu. A single creative description could be the difference between a customer walking out the door and them adding another 20% to their bill.
So it really all comes back to this one thing. Your menu isn't just paper and ink. It's your number one, most cost-effective sales tool. By combining smart design, a little bit of psychology, and a focus on inclusivity, you can unlock its incredible potential. So the real question for you is, what are you going to change about your menu first?